This poem I'm going to do right now is a new poem, and it's one of my favorite poems now. I don't know if you guys heard, back in September of 2009, there was a typhoon that hit the Philippines and killed a lot of people, you know. And then we heard about what happened in Indonesia when the tsunamis hit. And we don't really hear about it much. No one, Michael Jackson and all them people are not singing songs. Well, Michael Jackson can't sing songs now, but, you know, like Lionel Richie and them can't do songs. They're doing songs for Haiti, but what about, you know, the Philippines, right? Or what about Indonesia? What about, because we have a lot of people, you know, we are represented in this country, so, you know. And so I wrote this poem, and I wrote it from the perspective of a boy in the Philippines who drowned in the flood. And this is like my favorite poem right now because it's so touching. And it's really what it means is, like when you sit down at night and you pray, you tend to pray for yourself, but you don't pray for other people, you know, and you forget to pray for other people. What I learned a long time ago when I went through cancer, that, you know, people were praying for me, and that's how I was able to make it through cancer, because people prayed for me, right? And I learned that if you pray for others, God will take care of you. You know what I mean? You don't even need to ask him for anything. Just pray for other people, and he'll come and take care of you. Because if you don't, then all those bodies that are dying are going to pile up at your front steps. And then when you reach heaven, and they're saying, well, who's going to vouch for you? Well, one of these people have to vouch for you. If you pray for them, they'll vouch for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where this poem came from. And I hope you guys like it. On the CD, it's amazing, man. It's oof. Anyway, all right. The day the flood came, I took one final breath, opened my arms and surrendered the levee in my throat. The water came rushing in, spilled into my lungs until the heartstrings snapped and my ribcage busted open to release me. The waves, I can hear them crashing inside my chest. Press me to your ear, you can hear the ocean in my breath. It rolls and swallows, curling around my stomach the way hunger used to. I couldn't fight the hunger then. I couldn't fight this now. Floating face down, I let the waves place me in its mouth, carry me across that salty sea and wash me up on the front steps of your church. Through the window I saw you, pressed my wrinkled fingers against the stained glass, watched as you clenched your eyes in prayer, mumbling something about a promotion and unpaid bills. I wonder if you knew that while you were praying to God, we were on the outside looking in, praying to you. I wonder if you knew God isn't the one that performs miracles, people do. You have always been the one. God works our miracles through we, the forgotten, the children of rock bottom and broken concrete, our existence scribbled in dirt and swallowed by the ocean. Do you see us? Do you find our names in the middle of your prayers, washed up by the flood we have come? A sea of faces with sandbags beneath our eyes and water in our lungs. We are pounding our muddy hands against your church, the poverty in our fingerprints smudging every inch of stained glass. Have you noticed how sunlight can't penetrate through, and still you wonder why the windows don't shine like they used to? You wonder why church pews feel so hard on your knees. The weight of a nation forsaken laying so heavy on your shoulders, breathing down your neck, that for every time you dip your fingers in holy water to genuflect, the reflections staring back are the faces of children you have left to answer. Every time you bow down at the altar, the Eucharist melting on your tongue, your shadow is the shape of children like me, backbent searching for scraps of food behind restaurants. Did you know? We make our living by refrying those scraps, then sell them to the people in our village. Did you know we sometimes daydream of eating until the hunger pangs no longer hurt? Did you know God has never counted how many Sundays you spend in church, or how well you've kept your sacraments, or how often you've tithed? The communion will always taste dry if on your way inside you ignore our starving eyes, our tattered clothes, our outstretched hands reaching towards your chest. For you are the miracle that could save us. Reach down. If you want to find God, stop looking up, look around. Find him in the shelters, in the makeshift homes, in the faces of children swallowing the flood they couldn't outrun. Find him in the eyes of the mother, waist high in the sea of floating bodies, praying to find her son. Tell her you found him, standing on the outside looking in, fingers pressed to glass. Tell her how you opened the door, dried his clothes, cried his name in prayer so heaven may let him through, and there I will be. Waiting until the moment your own flood comes calling, I will see you, washed up on heaven's front steps. God standing at the gates asking if anyone can vouch for who you are, and I will step forward, my arms wide open, my skin still drenched. and I will tell him, you are the reason I am here.